This is Strips and Stripes, and this is a time to look through all of your stash and find pieces of fabric that you've used maybe for something else, because we're going to cut it all up anyway. Now, you do need enough fabric to do the sleeves in the back, but that could be done in a solid color if you wanted to. So this is a really fun garment to do. It's in the book, directions step by step with pictures. So make sure that you look through the book. Obviously, with all the tops, we're starting with the master pattern. But I have to tell you, this time we're really going to cut it up a lot. Now, this is more fun to do with a print than it is to do with a solid, because the solids aren't going to show up at all. So let me show you this wild print that we've chosen to use. Isn't this cute? Now, you get kind of a tile image or a 3D image when you do these stripes like this. So you need to check them. And I can tell you this from the voice of experience. We're going to cut strips that are 3/4 of an inch wide, and we're literally going to glue them on. Now, when we glue them on, we're going to use a glue stick, but I want to show you something. If you put these strips, cut yourself a piece of fabric that you want to use as the background that you think would be really cute, and then put this on like this to see if you like that look. Because I'm going to show you that when you put it on white fabric, and I'm just going to use the pattern ease real quick, it totally changes the look of what you're doing. So do make sure that you like the background before you glue all this stuff on and then don't like the background. So I'm going to start with my master top pattern. I'm going to cut strips, and these strips are cut 60 inches wide and 3/4 of an inch wide, and 60 inches long, and they're all on the stretch of the fabric. So I'm going to turn this inside out so you can see exactly what I'm doing, but then I'm going to show you this on the table as well. So you're going to create the front first before you sew the shoulder seams together. And can you see the design that I've created? Now, you get to be the designer, so don't get hung up over the curves and the angles and all that kind of stuff. Look at the picture closely and follow the picture. It's really simple to do. So if you look at what I have here on the table, can you see that I've just basically did a lazy cut on it? And however much you cut apart, you want to make sure that you add a 1/2 inch so you put it back together. So the whole purpose in this is whatever you add back together again must equal your master pattern. So that's why we don't cut the master pattern up. Because once you've sewn this back together again, after you put everything on, you literally could lay your master pattern back on top of it, and if it's bigger, just cut away the excess. So always check it before you finish the garment. Now, the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to glue all of these strips on, and you can glue them any way you want. You could glue them going straight up and down if you wanted, however you want to do that, but you're going to glue them with the glue stick. When I made mine, I glued a couple of strips and stitched them, then glued another couple of strips and stitched them instead of gluing the whole thing. You can also do it this way, which I think works really well. I'm going to move this and show you. If you want them evenly spaced, to make sure that they're evenly spaced, you can put down a couple of strips like this next to each other. Don't glue them yet, but put them next to each other like this and like this. And then when you take away the middle one, they're even. Okay, and you can keep doing that as much as you want. And you can follow the curve that you did. If you don't like the curve, cut it straight. Again, you're the designer. I'm going to go back and show you the shirt one more time so that you can see exactly how this is done. So when I turn this back over, you can see, and you have a picture of this in your book, so look closely at the picture. So you can see that it's done in different angles. So this one goes this way, we have a curve here, this goes according to the curve, this goes according to the curve. So as I said, you get to be the designer. On the bottom, it's like a little half moon design going on, so you get to play with it. This is a really fun item to play with. Those strips that you're using, you're going to stitch on both edges of those strips. They're just cut edges. You don't need to make tubes or anything like that. They're the cut edge. That's what gives you that three-dimensional look. But gluing them on makes your job a whole lot easier. Now we're going to do a V-neck on this one, but if you don't like V-necks, just make a scoop neck. That's an easy thing to do. Do Chanel trim like we did in chapter 2. So that's a really simple thing to do. Now I'm going to fold this in half and lay this on the table, and you can see that this is kind of a low scoop. I'm going to V-neck it. So what I'm going to do is to make a pattern. I always make patterns when I'm not sure how low I want it to be. So you can see that I've made a pattern on this. There's the actual neckline itself, and I am going to cut. Now this is right off my master top pattern, and I'm going to lay this on here. Let me put a weight on here, and I'm going to cut exactly what I drew, like this. And when you take this off, I can see that this is where I hadn't cut, and you can see now it's into a V, okay? Now you need a facing to go onto this one, and this is a really simple process to do as well. There's your template, you just cut it, and we're going to make a facing by cutting about 2 inches away from what we just did. It can be 3, it can be 4, it can be 5, whatever you want to do. This is your garment, and let me open this up and show you the facing. See, that's your facing, all right? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that out of fabric, obviously. So let me show you a little trick. There's my fabric. It's folded in half. I'm going to line up the edge like that because this is the folded edge of the pattern. It's the folded edge of the fabric. I always suggest, I keep suggesting to you that you make different patterns for different projects that you're doing. And when you do that, label it and put them in a bag so that they're separate. But when you label them, that's just going to give you a little bit more chance to know exactly what you're working with. Put your facings in there too. If you're making facings, put those in there as well. Now I want to show you a little trick. This is the best little trick in the world. When you do knits and you're making Chanel trim or you're making a V-neck, you're pulling that, remember? And we want this to lay next to our body. Now if you look at this, this has a lot of strips on it, so it's heavy. So we need to pull it into our body. This is the easiest way to do it. If you will take the facing that you just created and remove a 1/2 inch at the shoulder, when you sew this to the back neck facing, which you're going to create the exact same way, and cut a 1/2 inch off of that, that will force you to pull this right here when you sew it to the garment. So it makes it lay next to you. I know it sounds like it's going to pull it up. It's really nice. It's going to make it lay very, very nice next to you. So that's your strips and stripes. So go look through your stash. I hope you enjoyed the video. Now it's time to check out the website. Everything is on there. You can purchase the pattern, the book, all the notions I talked about. You can join the Fit Club and check out the classes where I'm teaching. And be sure to follow me on Facebook.